Max sometimes talked about the delicate balance between a prearranged pattern for the universe and human free will. Sometimes our freedom comes in the way we accept things over which we have no control, things which may cause us great pain and even death. I didn't understand then that she was talking about herself. We were sitting on the veranda overlooking the ocean. The wisteria vines were in bloom, the blossoms moving from pale lavender to deep dark purple. Pungent scents from flowers and herbs wafted toward us. She changed the subject. I wonder how long Benecide will be the kind of lovely island it is now. If the other two plantations should ever be sold, there'd be more developments like Mulletville, only bigger. I'd hate it, I said. Daddy'd hate it. He'd have to look for another island. I don't think it'll happen for a while. Spring and early summer, before the long heat sets in, are as lovely here as any place in the world. I'm not sure why I love Bouillère. I was never happy here. Aimée and I came out in Charleston, but most of the time in Charleston seems as far from Benecide as New York, and I've spent far too much of my life on that asphalt island. Maybe that's why I love to come here, but I'd die of loneliness, intellectual loneliness, if I had to leave Benecide for long. The idea that Max might not stay on the island was horrible, but why had I ever thought her return to Bouillère was permanent? I remembered Sandy and Denny's questioning her coming, thinking there was something odd about it. But I felt that I too would die of loneliness without Max to talk to. You're not leaving, are you? When she did not reply, I asked, is Ursula's sabbatical over? Max looked down at her hands, lightly folded, pale against her dark dress. No, Polly, and no, I am not going back to New York. During the normal pattern of Max and Ursula's year, Urs took August off and they traveled abroad together. In the winter, Max went off by herself to paint, to check on Bouillère, to get away from the city. And, she added, from Ursula. We're both dominant personalities, and people who love each other need to be apart periodically. I have my own studio on 57th Street, but even a city as big as New York can be too small. And I enjoy travel more than Urs does, even though it's getting daily more difficult, and one expects planes to be late, connections to be missed, trains to stop for hours instead of minutes. I still love it. 2 years ago, I spent a month in Antarctica. I nearly got frostbite on my aristocratic nose, but I was totally fascinated by that wild, cold world. I wanted to bring Urs back a penguin, but only I could bring back a square mile of its environment. But only if I could bring back a square mile of its environment. For a while, I was embarrassed when Max talked about Urs, but she was so matter-of-fact that it stopped bothering me. She talked about Urs as anyone would about a good friend. Slowly, I began to forget Zan and Kate's gossip, even to forget what Max had told me. As Mother had pointed out, it was not where Max and my interests lay. Mother and Daddy seemed to take it for granted that I might go over to Bouillère a couple of times a week. I got my chores in the lab done in the early morning, helped with the little ones as much as possible once a week, stripped the beds, and put the sheets through the washing machine. What time was left, apart from school, was my own. Max and Ursula came across the island to have dinner with us every few weeks, and if Zan and Kate heard any more gossip, they didn't say anything. Sometimes I wondered about Max's husband, David Tomasi, and why they'd married, and what had happened. I asked Mother one day when we were taking sheets off the line, smelling of ocean and sky. I don't know much about it. Mother said, I gather Max and Davin remained very good friends and kept in touch until he died. Max is a very complex human being, a very fine one. And that is where we will pause.